Hey babe, welcome back to my channel and episode 7 of Raw Moments. Today we are talking about being defensive about my mental health and what I am going through. In a sense, I feel like me going through depression and anxiety has become a part of who I am, and in a way, going through that and experiencing it is transforming me into a different person, like a better version of me that I don't think I would have been able to become had I not gone through it, if that makes sense. But because of that, I am extremely defensive about my mental health and my feelings about it and the things that I've been through. So when I feel like I'm being attacked, it really frustrates me, and I find myself defending the fact that I've been through certain things. And I was watching another sermon on YouTube, and basically it was like, God was talking to me and telling me, like, you have to stop being defensive. You know what you've been through. And some people are just going to be who they are, and I have to learn to like be okay with that, and that those are the people that are just not meant to, be in your space, and that I am sending you people who will understand and who are your people and will support you in this next phase that you're, about to walk into. And that really made me reflect back to the beginning of, my depression. And I used to fight all the time with myself about not being depressed. Like, that's not what's wrong. I'm, something else. I know something's wrong, but that's not what's wrong. And then I got to a point where when I was finally like, okay, fine, that's what it is, I became almost attached to the fact that I was depressed. And so anytime I felt like somebody was telling me I wasn't really depressed, or telling me to just suck it up, and everybody goes through stuff, and not understanding the severity of what I was going through, I would get so defensive, and I would find myself trying to prove that I was depressed. And that sounds crazy, because why do I need to prove to somebody how bad I'm feeling? Like, for someone to understand or for someone to believe that I'm really going through something. And, hindsight, looking back, I can understand why people would assume that I maybe wasn't as depressed as I said, or I don't know, but I'm really good at masking and trying to put on a brave face and a smile and going on about my day and just hoping that nobody notices that I'm really going through it, or that I'm really not in a good headspace. And so with me doing that, even on my worst days, maybe to people, their perception wasn't that it was really that bad, because they didn't know what I was silently feeling and silently fighting through. And the more that I felt like people were brushing off what I was going through and what I was feeling, the more I defended it, the more defensive I got, the more I was trying to prove myself. And now I feel like it's almost a natural reaction for me to do when I feel like I'm being challenged about my mental health. But I feel like now it has shifted from, no, I really am depressed, like I wouldn't say that I was if I wasn't, to I know what I just went through, and I know the fight that I, put up to get myself to the point that I'm at now. While I'm still not 100% out of it, I'm way better than I was when I started, and I know how hard I worked to get here. So when I feel like someone is using that against me or personally attacking my journey, my instinct is to jump into that like defense mode and to prove to people, no, this is what I did, this is how I fought, this is, what I was feeling. And I hate that I get so defensive, just because who cares? Like, really, honestly, who cares what anybody else thinks? I know what I'm feeling, I know what I went through, and I really don't need to prove that to anybody. But at the same time, because I take pride in my character. And so for me, I take it as, you're calling me a liar, and I'm not a liar. So now I have to prove to you that I'm not a liar. Or if I feel like in any way you are attacking my character and making it in a negative light, something opposite of what I feel that I am or what I know that I am, I go into defense mode, because I have to prove that what you're saying is not true. And I really want to get to a point, I'm sure, at some point we all kind of like feel like we have to prove ourselves to somebody, or, I'm going to prove you wrong, or I'm going to do the opposite of, whatever it is that you're saying that I can do. But I feel like the more I heal, the more I realize that I have spent really my entire life trying to prove myself to people. And at the end of the day, it really just doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of me when I know who I am. And hearing that sermon kind of gave me like peace of mind, and understanding that who is for me will be for me, and who isn't, I don't have to beg people, I don't have to prove to people, I don't have to convince people of anything, because you can see the type of person somebody is. And if I'm genuinely being myself, then that's what people will see, and I don't have to prove that to anybody. And so as I am healing and, coming out of my depression, I am working on myself to not take things so personal where I feel like I have to defend myself. And if it's something that I feel like is just not good for my mental health, then I can, pull away from it and walk away and just leave it at what it is. But I don't have to go back and forth to prove myself to anybody that I really did go through something, or that I really am hurting, or that I really am sad, or whatever it is that I'm feeling. I know what I'm feeling. So I hope that if you are somebody that feels like you are always in defense mode, and you are always, trying to prove yourself to other people, that at some point you are able to come to terms with the fact that you don't have to do that. And that's much easier said than done. I understand. I'm still not even close to where I should be. But it is something that I'm working on. And I think it's really important for people to know and understand that you can spend your entire life trying to prove yourself to people, but people are going to be who they are. And you can work as hard as you want to prove to somebody that you're a certain type of person. One, if they don't want to see it, they're not. And two, if they can't just appreciate who you are, then you really don't need them in your life anyway. So there's no reason for you to go out of your way to prove yourself to anybody. And that's a really hard lesson to learn, especially when you have like bonds with people and relationships and, you know, history. Like, that's so hard to just be like, you know what, this isn't serving me anymore, leave it where it is. But honestly, it's what's best for your mental health, because sometimes things run their course and you gotta just let it be what it is. And I'm really starting to understand that anything that doesn't coincide with me having a healthy mental health state of mind, then it's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. I need to leave it where it is. And that is probably my main focus right now, because I can feel myself, you know, starting to come out of my depression. And the last thing I want is to go backwards. So I've been doing a lot of like actively working at doing things that are healthy for me to do. And in doing that, I think it helps me be better at the same time. So I'm grateful for, you know, everything that I've been through up until this point, because if I hadn't gone through all of that, I probably would not have been able to understand, one, that I have even been able to try to prove myself my entire life, or two, that I don't need to even do that. So, you know, there are lessons in everything. And even when they are things that are, you know, so hurtful or, you know, traumatic, there's a lesson in it. And trying to take the positivity out of it while you're feeling so negative takes a lot of work, but it's definitely worth doing. So I'm trying. I'm a work in progress, but I'm definitely trying to not be so defensive about my mental health and things that I know that I felt and know that I went through. So yeah, if that is you, I just offer you the advice of give yourself peace of mind and just focus on you. Everybody else around you honestly doesn't matter. You need to come first. And that is very hard for me to do, because I have also always put everybody else in my life first. And so me now trying my hardest to put myself first is a lot of work, but I find that when I do it, it's very beneficial for me. And maybe some people don't like that, and that's fine. But I've got to do what's best for me, and you have to do what's best for you. So you have to put yourself first, and the people that are meant for you will understand. And anyone that has an issue with it or tries to make you feel bad about it, good riddance, because that's not good for your mental health. So yeah, I will see you guys next week in episode 8 of Raw Moments.